Today, the 3rd of July, three news stories. Egyptian and Sudanese efforts to internationalize GERD dam dispute have suffered a setback. Secondly, international journalist bodies have condemned the arrest of several journalists by Ethiopian government. Thirdly, within the last 24 hours, two Ethiopian officials have offered talks to TPLF. What would TPLF do? Let's look at the first news story. Egyptian and Sudanese efforts to internationalize GERD, Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam issue have suffered a setback. Viewers. A few days ago, Sudan wrote a letter to the UN Security Council. Then Egypt wrote a letter, and UN Security Council is due to discuss GERD issue next week. But before that, France, which holds rotational presidency of the UN Security Council, its envoy to the UN, Nicolas Rivere, has said several important things about upcoming debate on GERD. Nicolas Rivere says that there is not very much that UN Security Council can do to resolve Ethiopia-Egypt-Sudan dam dispute. According to French envoy, the UN Security Council does not have the scope and capacity needed to resolve this conflict. But the French ambassador said that the three parties can definitely join next week's meeting on GERD, and UN Security Council will encourage the three parties to resume talks. It's very clear, views, that before the start of debate on GERD, France is openly saying that UN Security Council will not be able to resolve this conflict. Both Egypt and Sudan have been trying to internationalize this issue. Egypt just a few days ago issued a statement saying that this issue would cause international friction, but international community is not going to play any key role in the resolution of this conflict. Second filling is already underway, viewers. Heavy rains have started in Ethiopia, and several experts have confirmed that a second filling of GERD is underway. UN Security Council is not going to play any constructive role. What will Egypt and Sudan do? Will they go for any direct military action against GERD or not? That remains to be seen. But so far it seems that Ethiopian narrative is prevailing at UN Security Council. Second news story is about the plight of journalists in Ethiopia. Several journalists' bodies have condemned recent arrests of several journalists in Ethiopia. Viewers. On the 30th of June, Ethiopian security officials stormed the office of Awlo Media in Addis Ababa, and more than 10 employees of this online news source, Awlo Media, were arrested. Then after that, viewers, Ethio Forum, which is a YouTube channel, its two journalists, Ababe Bayo and Yasu Shimalis, were arrested by Ethiopian security forces. So far, no charges have been pressed against these individuals. The individuals have not been brought to any court so far. That is why journalists' bodies are condemning this act of Ethiopian government. Ethiopian government officials say that Awlo Media and Ethio Forum has links with terrorist outfits. Who are these terrorist outfits? The two news sources have been covering Tigray conflict. It seems, viewer, that these arrests have been made in the background of reporting by Awlo Media and Ethio Forum about Tigray conflict. Third news story is about Tigray, viewers. In the last 48 hours, we have heard two statements from Ethiopian government officials who are calling for talks with TPLF. First, we heard from Demeke Mekonnen, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Ethiopia, who gave a briefing to diplomats, viewers. And in his briefing, he offered to start negotiations with TPLF. He had said that Ethiopian government was ready to start talks with members of TPLF, not leaders of TPLF. Then viewers, yesterday UN Security Council met to discuss Tigray conflict. In that meeting, Ethiopian envoy to the UN also said that Ethiopian government was ready to hold talks with TPLF. Now again, ball is in the court of TPLF whether to start talks with Ethiopian government or not. Earlier, unilateral ceasefire announced by Ethiopian government was rejected by TPLF. While Ethiopian government is calling for talks with TPLF, it is backing the presence of Amhara regional forces in Western Tigray. Because after the conclusion of UN Security Council meeting, some journalists asked questions about the presence of Amhara forces in Tigray and in Western Tigray, and Ethiopian government's position on the presence of Amhara regional forces in Walkayet, Humera, Tasagade. Take a listen to how Ethiopian envoy to the UN responded to these questions. Thank you for watching.
Of the possibility of more conflict in Western Tigray, which is still occupied by forces from neighboring Amhara, which were fighting alongside your army. What can you do to ensure that the Amhara forces return to Amhara and leave Western Tigray?
Well, the Amhara people believe that they are in their rightful ancestral land. These were forcibly incorporated in 1992 without any due process or any constitutional arrangement. I came from that part of the country, from my mother's side. A community that speaks fluent Amharic and fluent Tigrinya. I thought back then this would be a small chromosomes of the Ethiopian society that believes in diversity, that can speak many languages, and yet live peacefully together. So there is a process that is going on right now. There is no any intention to take over land, but the government has an institution that has been put in place. This is called Regional Border Commission. So it is going to be, the case will be submitted to that board, and then of course a decision will be made. That could be probably after the new government is in place.
So does that mean that the Ethiopian government supports the Amhara forces remaining in Western Tigray until that commission makes a decision?
Well, I think that is in fact a matter of fact.